What's going on, Trade Nation? What's going on? What I am going to do is I'm actually going to start over in reading this book. It is The Ultimate Guide to Network Marketing. I know as traders and as entrepreneurs, we're pretty busy, and audiobooks are extremely beneficial to us. And I know I really hated that I could not get this book on audio. So I'm not an out loud reader. What I do is I speed read. I took this course for speed reading and comprehension. So it's a lot easier for me to read to myself and speed read in the process. So this might take some time. But what I'm going to do is I am going to read not the whole book, but the vast majority of the book for you guys out loud on this channel. Please don't share this with anyone outside of the Trade Nation family, simply because I'm not sure if this book is copywritten to the point where I can't read it in audio, because I guess if it was in audio, you could actually purchase it in Audible or something like that, and I have access, or I actually have a lot of books in Audible, and I was unable to actually find this one. And I also feel like when you read a book yourself, you get more of it kind of connects with you, and it kind of penetrates your subconscious mind, which we all know is important. So I'm going to read the book. I'm probably going to have like one of my kids read some of it because unfortunately for me, reading the book out loud to you doesn't help me. I actually have to read it to myself. So I'm going to read it to you, and also I'll go back and I'll read it again for myself. Okay, so The Ultimate Guide to Network Marketing, and we'll start right now. Okay. So chapter 1. You guys know we're reading the same book. Chapter 1. Carpe WOO. Is it possible that your life, business, relationship, energy, health, and balance can flourish as never before despite even the most difficult of circumstances? Is it possible for you to build supportive, high-performance teams, even with those people you're pretty certain God put on this planet to bug you? Is it really possible for you to have more fun, a greater sense of purpose, a genuine peace of mind in a world accelerating so quickly that there is more computer technology in your children's Christmas toys than in the Apollo spacecraft that went to the moon in 1969? And is it even remotely possible that your family can actually flourish with unstoppable love and connection despite the seemingly endless distractions of television, the internet, Madison Avenue, cell phones, traffic, malls, and instant messaging? The answer to these enormous vital questions is, yes. Stop reading right now and yell out the words, woo! You guys can do that. Isn't that a fun word? It is. Now, if anyone asks you what you've been reading and thinking about, put a big grin on your face. Look them right in the eye and say, you've got it. Woo! Woo stands for something very special. It is the window of opportunity, And with every ounce of my heart and soul, I want you to know that we all share the most important, magical, magnificent of all woos right now. Do you know what it is? Is it, it is every precious moment. Every precious moment is a woo. What do I mean? You never know if the next person you meet today may become your lifetime friend, just as you didn't know it when you met your lifetime friends. You never know if the next woman you meet in the elevator may become the most important business builder you've ever recruited. You never know if the next time you talk with your son, daughter, spouse, or friend, something you say in that conversation may be the one crucial thing they could not see without your eyes. In a life that was on its way down and instantly reignited, you never know if the next idea that pops into your head may have the same impact on your own life. I had a high school counselor named Mr. Anderson who pulled me into his office in the ninth grade, sat me down with the intensity that surprised me because he was usually so lighthearted and jovial. Said, Brian, a student like you only comes along with about once every 10 to 15 years. At that time, it was pretty likely he meant in a bad way, more than he meant in a good way. You see, I was at the point in my life where what I really wanted was for everyone to like me. So I was playing the clown, not applying myself anywhere near my potential. But Mr. Anderson saw through all of that. What he really was saying to me in that moment was, Brian, don't waste the gifts you've been given. Live fully. Put your heart into all that you do. When each day is done, know you were given all you had. Know you have given all you had. That's what really matters in life. And you know I got it. I would not be a part of this wonderful book right now had Mr. Anderson not seized at Woo so long ago. I never would have earned my way into Stanford University, never would have had my life move in exciting direction in which it was flowed, and most of all, would never have come together with my wife and children. The question is not, is there a woo? There is. The real questions are, how many of these woos have we missed, and why do we miss them? This chapter is about seizing the woo, Carpe WOO. As you learn to make the most of every precious moment, you will discover the secrets that will enable you to answer those enormous questions of life posed at the beginning of this chapter with a triumphant, resounding, woo, yes. Carpe WOO Lesson 1. What you focus on is what you create. Okay? So, like I said, I'm not going to read the full book, but I am going to read a great deal of it. So I'm just going to kind of go over some of the things that are discussed here. So here's a fun little question. What color is a yield sign? When I ask this question in my seminars, I always hear the audience call out yellow. But many years ago, the United States adopted the international signage standards, and the yield signs you and I have seen for all these years are not yellow. They are red and white. I have a hunch you might be thinking something along the lines of, well, maybe they're red and white out there in Asheville, North Carolina, where you live, Brian, but not here. Excuse me. That's exactly what I thought when I was in the audience at the seminar and I was asked the question the first time. My answer was an immediate duh, yellow. But son of a gun, by the time I finished that seminar that day, they managed to change every single yield sign I've seen ever since. The truth is, we've seen thousands of yield signs. We very likely see the same yield sign almost every day when we drive our standard routes to work or school. and yet we haven't seen one of them for what's really there. Why? The truth is, we rarely use our vision to see. Instead, we use our memory and our conditioning. The challenge is, when we use our memory to see, we don't see what's here now. We see the past. Now, I hope you'll chuckle, which I did, as I do every time I see a yield sign. But there are far more important areas in which to apply this understanding and use our present vision. Where does it really matter to awaken our true vision and no longer depend on our memory to see? I believe it's with people. Here's an example very close to my heart. My daughter Kelsey is 17 years old and drives her own car. The responsibility of driving has helped her feel more independent, confident, and mature. Yet every so often, I treat her like an old yellow yield sign and look at her as if she's still 15. Every time I do, our relationship takes a step backwards and needs rebuilding. The truth is, what we focus on is what we create. Those yellow yield signs were visual creations, far more real to me than the actual metal in the paint. The way we see ourselves and others determine the life we create, the messages we send to friends, family, and teammates. As you work with others building businesses with you, remember that one fresh idea, one unusual approach to break through a disabling habit, or one small victory can ignite exciting new momentum and results. Look for the best in others and you'll be much more likely to help create. Lesson 2. If it's not working, try something different. Oh, hair's getting up, sorry. You've undoubtedly heard that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. Yet, how often does that silly definition perfectly describe our actions and choices? What habits do we continue to follow, though the results they create are not only ineffective, but even painful, damaging, and self-defeating? The more closely you look at this principle, if it's not working, try something different, the clearer it comes that truly living its lesson provides a powerful woo to ignite momentum where there once was stagnation, to transform adversity into exciting possibilities of benefit. You need look no further than the light that's illuminating the room you're in right now as you read this book. Unless you're outside on a sunny day, for shining proof of the power of this simple principle, the genius who developed the electric light, Thomas Edison, was the king of it. If it's not working, try something different. Edison was the Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Wayne Gretzky, I'm not sure of his last name, of innovation, all rolled into one, with more than 1,000 inventions, patents, more than any other individual in history. You'd think someone who produced such astonishing results must have had a tremendous academic background, yet Thomas Edison had only 3 months of formal education. In fact, by his late teens, Edison had lost all of his hearing in one ear, with an 80% loss in the other. What Edison lacked in formal education, auditory capacity, he more than made up for in tenacity, flexibility, and an unstoppable commitment to continuously learn and grow. When speaking about the work going on in his laboratory in Menlo Park, New Jersey, he growled, "Hell, there are no rules here. We're trying to accomplish something." When it came to his deafness, he turned that supposed handicap into an important ingredient in his success. He used the silence associated with deafness to sharply enhance his power of concentration. Edison spent more than 4 years and experienced some 4,000 failed attempts to create a functional incandescent light bulb. But after each unsuccessful attempt, he adjusted and tried something different. In more than 3 years and 3,000 failures, one of his top assistants asked the great inventor how he could stand all the failure and lack of results. Edison replied, offers a sun-fire recipe for a life of wonder, light, growth, and resilience. Results. Why, man? I have gotten a lot of results. I know several thousand things that won't work. All right. So that the rest of this chapter basically goes over his failures and how, that is a result. He got, the results, and now he has more faith in that. Okay. So Thomas Edison. Okay. The next lesson is lesson 3, be a world-class buddy thinker. Okay. A great strategy for building an unbeatable team is to become a world-class buddy thinker. When you live with an attitude of gratitude, it becomes natural to catch others doing things right. But let me ask you an eye-opening question. Who are the people in our lives we tend to forget to thank the most? For the most part, our family members, people that we work next to, the people that are right there under us. How do you reverse this downward cycle and become a world-class buddy thinker? I skipped the paragraph, by the way. The secret is found in the words world class. After all, isn't that the kind of business you like to build, one that was viewed as world class? Here's a fun and easy way to remember how to become a world class buddy thinker. When you think of a world class amusement park, entertainment, who do you think of? Usually the answer is Disney. When you think of the world class coffee house, Starbucks. Now, when you think of the world class sports television, who do you think of? That's right, ESPN. How do you become a world-class buddy thinker? Easy. Just remember ESPN. The E. The E stands for effort and energy. World-class buddy thinkers bring higher levels of effort and energy to the way they express appreciation, praise. They are more heartfelt, creative, and vibrant. They seize the woo to give third-party compliments that allow other key people to hear of the performance, adding a touch extraordinary personal attention to the praise that makes it more special and memorable. But the real key to mastering the E and the ESPN is to thank people for their efforts and energy, not just their results. The truth is, we don't control results. We control the effort, energy, and attitude we apply to the work towards the results. When you thank others for their efforts and energy, guess what? They create more results. Why? Because now they are focusing on what they control rather than what they don't. In the 27 years of coaching basketball at UCLA, the greatest coach in history, John Wooden, never used the words winning or losing with his players. Instead, he taught them that success is a peace of mind that comes from knowing you're given the best in which you are capable. Napoleon Hill, if you guys read that book, Think and Grow Rich. The best of which you are capable. In other words, he focused his coaching on his players' efforts and energy. The unique focus led to 10 national athletic association championships. No other men's coach in college history has won as many as 4. Okay, so that's what the E goes into: energy and effort. S in ESPN stands for surprise. This is the least known and one of the most powerful leadership tools you have available to ignite others. Write personal cards to friends, teammates, clients, and family members, expressing your gratitude and admiration even when it is not their birthday or anniversary. So the S stands for surprise, so just do it sporadically. Okay. The P in ESPN is the most important key to becoming a world-class buddy thinker. In fact, it is the ultimate secret to balance, connection, and trust. The secret centers around a simple yet immeasurably profound principle called being fully present. P stands for present. Perhaps the most powerful way to understand this principle of being present is to look clearly at what is not. Several years ago, when I was the vice president of a large trading company, I became painfully aware of what it means to not be present. At that time, we were family. We were a family of three. My wife, Carla, me, and our first daughter, Kelsey, who was 5 years old, driven by an unrelenting, clearly suffocating feeling of being overwhelmed. I had fallen into a habit of reaching the office by 5 a.m. and not returning home until 6. Not once did I see my daughter get ready for kindergarten. Not once did I surprise her by picking her up from school or spend some special unexpected moments together. I mistakenly convinced myself that I didn't have time. I had to be at the office first and had to put in more hours than anyone else. After all, I was driving myself for my family, wasn't I? So the P is being present, regardless of what. The P actually goes on for quite some time and is really about you finding balance in your life and making time for your family, making time for your upline, making time for your downline, just making time for yourself, really. Sorry, that's the birds. They're our birds. Anyway, so let's go into N. Finally, the N in ESPN is simply to do it now. Okay? The street sign with the words "as soon as" leads directly to the endless loop called never. Seize the woo now. It is the one sure way to leave regret in the past. You may never pass this way again. If you knew you had only 24 hours left in your life, who are the people you absolutely could not leave before telling them how much you love them, how much you appreciated them, and how much they mean to you? And my final question, what are you waiting for? Remember, the past is history. The future is mystery. The gift is now. That's why we call it the present. And then this is just I guess some key books and documentaries that you can either watch or read on, I guess, this last chapter. Yes, I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay, so we're in chapter 2, and after I actually think that's the end of day. Oh, we're going to chapter 2. Because you're doing 10 pages a day, so I'm actually going to try and do the videos based off of those 10 pages a day to help those out who aren't. I mean, I'm not a strong reader out loud, but for those who really don't have the time, you have children. I have children. For those of you who have children or trying to work and launch your business at the same time, I know how frustrating that gets because I'm doing the same thing right now, but I figured since I have to do it, I better go ahead and help out the person that's coming in behind me. Okay, so chapter 2, bring the right attitude to your network marketing experience. So bringing on the right attitude, okay? Having spent a decade of my life in the field building downline organizations, I feel comfortable in telling you that it is impossible to build a successful organization without a consistent, fantastic attitude that inspires others to do what they would have not done without you as an attitude role model. Okay? Let's face something right now. Network marketing is more about failure and stumbling than it is about victories and the fast track. Don't be discouraged by that description from a field-tested veteran. Rather, understand that struggle and failure are part of the success in any great endeavor. Don't shy away from that aspect of success. Embrace it and know that development, maintenance, and protection of great attitude can dramatically enhance your likelihood of a major life victory in network marketing. Here's why. Give me 1 second. And if I can figure out how to edit videos, I'll probably try and edit out a lot of this. Where am I? Oh, here's one. One of the most powerful resources available to human beings is their attitude. A person's attitude touches a positive or negative way every part of one's life. It affects people's relationships, their physical and mental energy, their stamina, their self-image, their work habits, their willingness to try something new and challenging, their ability to deal with stressful situations, their degree of happiness, and of course, their ability to achieve beyond their current circumstances. Give me a distributor with an average talents, with a great attitude any day over an enormous talented person with a bad or even an average attitude. Of all the physical and mental traits possessed by human beings that will separate one person from the next, attitude stands alone as a great divider between an average performance and a peak performance. Men and women who truly work at creating and then protecting a great attitude will ultimately achieve far more than the person who does not understand the vital nature of this ingredient of success. So what exactly is a positive attitude? How does one acquire it? Based on both my field and consultant perspective, I would say a positive attitude is a disciplined decision of the mind to maintain a consistently confident expectation of good results. In essence, it is a faith in a bright present and brighter future. It is a decision to believe that God is in your corner, desiring to bring about your ultimate well-being, even though your current circumstances may not be the best. A positive attitude is not, as some think, psyching yourself up in a hope that your fairy godmother will come to your rescue by dropping the dream down in your lap. The proper mental outlook is based on faith. You should regard your attitude as an enormously valuable asset that deserves and demands careful protection. After all, you lock your valuables in a safe at home, or you store them in a safe deposit box at the bank. When you leave your house, you probably turn on your alarm system to protect your tangible assets. However, did you ever stop to think that you could acquire them 10 times over if you develop and maintain the right attitude? Just about every network marketer can sustain a positive mindset when things are going well, and we are all prone to discouragement when things are not going so well. I will share a secret to success in life, especially in your network marketing venture. One of the secrets of being happy is learning how to keep your attitude from being on a constant roller coaster. Anyone can be up when your business is on a roll. How high do you feel when that prospect who you know will go into massive action promoting your opportunities gets in and gets growing? Anyone can be down and adversity strikes. How low do you feel when that person quits 2 weeks later? The person who survives to achieve Success in network marketing is a person who is up when the average person is down. You must discipline yourself to understand that you are the role proprietor of your mental outlook. You are the sole proprietor, I'm sorry. There are innumerable issues that present themselves each and every day that conspire to pollute your positive attitude. Difficult family relationships, money troubles, unhappy distributors, associates, rude customers, and the business environment. Have you ever gone through the day suspecting that your world in a massive conspiracy to steal your attitude? If you allow the circumstance of life or your business to determine your attitude, the circumstance of life or your business will determine your attitude. The only thing that separates victory from defeat at these critical moments is a disciplined, positive attitude that has been purposely developed. A positive attitude is a person's decision to believe the best about you, your organization, both upline and downline, and the potential that your dreams will come true. It is a mental step of faith. I know that maintaining a positive attitude isn't always easy. It demands continual vigilance. You cannot fly on autopilot here. You have to work on it every day. But there are a few things in life that will pay you greater dividends than a fantastic attitude. Now that we have defined what a great attitude is, let's talk about how to develop one. Allow me to emphasize something right now. I believe that one of the greatest things someone could ever say about me is he has a phenomenal attitude. I'm going to skip a little bit. One of my goals in interacting with people is that they feel better about themselves and the life in general by the time I leave them. When I started out our interaction, that is one of the reasons that I was able to make millions of dollars in network marketing. My attitude constantly acted as a beacon of hope for those around me. People wanted to be around me because I was charging their attitude by my attitude. That is impossible to do without a great attitude that sings out, I'm happy about who I am, where I am going, and my expectations of my future. How do you create this great attitude that will be the foundation for a continuous path to achievement? Work hard at feeling good about yourself. I cannot begin to tell you the impact that how you feel about yourself will have on your attitude. I actually read this earlier, so I'm going to give you guys some little, basically what it's about. Okay, so basically, build yourself up, your self-image, who you are, how you think of yourself, what you think of yourself, can help you a great deal with building up a positive mental attitude or a positive attitude. I just joined another book, but you can read. There's another book if you need any more help on a positive mental attitude. There's another book, and it's actually on Audible. You guys can download that, and if you need help finding or you want to read it for free, just send me a message, and I can send it over to you. But excuse me. Her husband's phone. It is a book by Napoleon Hill, and it is called Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude, or PMA. It is again, it's by Napoleon Hill. That book is a beautiful book. I love it. I've listened to it quite a few times. But anyway, that's basically what that goes over. And also, the actions that you can take to build a positive mental attitude is one. I would read Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude by Napoleon Hill. You can also exercise if you don't like the way, if you feel, chubby or or you don't feel really, confident about your size, then you can always go to the gym. And it gives you that window of opportunity to meet new people. Now you're meeting people at the gym, and who knows, they could be a part of your organization or a part of your downline. So it says here, and eat healthy. The second action you could take is hang around people who would be fertile ground for a great attitude. So hang around positive people. If you hang around people with a negative mental attitude, then ultimately you'll have the same attitude, because you are the sum total of the people you hang around, your environment. So that was number 2. Okay, the second. Okay. Okay, no. Okay, that's about, meeting people that have a positive mental attitude. Okay, so I'll just actually pick up right here. You need to associate yourself with the people who charge your battery and not drain it. Who you associate with is your choice, set every day. Making good decisions will add another valuable brick in the foundation necessary to exhibit a great attitude. Write down the names of the 5 most positive persons you know. These people leave you feeling different, charged, optimistic, and expecting great things. Write down the names of 5 most people and negative persons you know. These people don't leave you feeling the same either. They leave you feeling drained. Their very nature leaves you with less air in your balloon than when you first got together. Now write down next to the 10 names how much time you typically spend with each of them. Here is what this exercise is all about. I want you to visually see with whom you're spending your time and with whom you should be spending your time. Some of these relationships will, by nature, leave you less room for your ability to reduce or maximize your interaction. However, keep in mind as you are building your organization, more people quit network marketing in their first month because of negative naysayers than for any other reason. From this point on, I encourage you to maximize the time spent with those persons who charge your battery and minimize the time spent with those persons who drain your battery. You'll be pleasantly surprised at the positive effects this will have on your ability to create and maintain a great attitude. Here is a valuable tip. The moment you surrender ownership of your attitude to circumstances or to another person, you compromise its power in your life and you risk its loss. Third, it is critical for you as a network marketing entrepreneur to read and listen to positive information in effect to fill your mind with information that lends itself to creation and maintenance of a great attitude. Develop an insatiable appetite for positive mental nutrition. Again, I read Success by Positive Mental Success with the Positive Mental Attitude by Napoleon Hill, or I listened to it a lot, especially while I was at work. So while you're at work, if you can listen to a audio book, or try not to fill your day with music. As a matter of fact, don't fill your day with music at all, unless it's don't fill your day with music at all. Listen to a positive book or self-growth book that encourage you to be better and do better for yourself, okay? So next page, okay, so positive mental food on a daily basis. So again, that's diet. Okay, so next thing is make a decision that the person you are going to be next month will be better and pose a better attitude than any person that you are this month. The critical part of this habit set is that you are setting an example for the people in your organization. I made a mental decision early in my network marketing experience that I was going to be in a personal growth mode for the rest of my life. I viewed personal growth as a lifelong journey with no end. Fourth, dare to dream about a better tomorrow. In other words, live with an attitude of expectation, have a purpose. People who are on a mission and seeking to accomplish great things find having a great attitude much easier because they have a higher degree of expectation of tomorrow. That is one of the reasons why you find people in network marketing to be far more positive as a general rule than the people you work with in your job. Most of the people you work with are resigned to the fact that this is as good as it gets. They have no real power in the present because they don't have a great hope for the future. If you know that tomorrow is going to be no better than today, it's hard to be optimistic and it's hard to have a great attitude about tomorrow. Those are facts. Okay. And he goes into, people that he meets. So I'm going to read a little bit of this and then I'm going to skip to the next, to fifth anyway. I meet many people who are trying to achieve goals but face problems that can be clearly defined. They have not tied the desires of their hearts to activity that they are about to undertake. They just don't have the right mental attitude to be effective. You must maintain a positive perspective by reconnecting to your dreams on a daily basis. Allow your vision of success to act in the same way as a ground wire does for a lightning rod. Think of your mind as a lightning rod. The negative things that inevitably occur in our life, business, strike at your thoughts, just as the lightning strikes the lightning rod. But no matter how powerful the bolt, its force is neutralized because the ground wire carries the negativity all away harmlessly. Throughout your life, particularly in your network marketing experience, bolts of lightning will strike at you. You will experience setbacks and failures. Faced with crushing disappointment, the average person is rocked back on his or her heels. Many never recover. That is why the attrition rate in network marketing is so high. Most people's threshold for total discouragement is low because they don't have the quality of attitude that will sustain them through the tough moments. They quickly sink into the quicksand of despair and ultimate defeat. So I'm going to stop right there for that one, and we're going to roll right into fifth, okay? I'm just trying to make this easy for you guys. So I'm just skimming through again. I'm terrible at out loud reading. So I'm just trying to help Ike. I'm trying to help Ike. No. Fifth, have a personal mission and value statement that will allow you to reconnect with your vision for your life. I strongly encourage you to create written statements that spell out who you are and what you want your life to become, and keep them close at hand for regular review. And when setbacks have left you momentarily disheartened, pull out your written statement and remind yourself of the person you are and of the emotionally compelling vision you are working to achieve. So that is 5. Remind yourself of what your mission are, what your mission is, and what your goals are. Keep saying it. For the Trade Nation family, we know we use a lot of the Think and Grow Rich affirmations. I am so happy and grateful and thankful now that I have 20 people on my downline. I'm so happy and grateful and thankful now that I have developed self-confidence, so on and so forth. So just remember that you have to keep reminding yourself of what your mission is and where you're going, okay? So number 6, live life with passion. People follow people, not companies. And ultimately, people follow passionate people. I have lived a life of passionately of the pursuit of my dreams. I've also known a life in the pursuit of a paycheck. I would choose to compassionately pursue my dreams any day because that is when I'm most alive and when I exhibit most consistently a great attitude. I've been blessed with the exhilarating feeling of waking up in the morning, every morning, with an exciting vision of greater day. I briefly lost that sensation near the end of my law career. And that's when I knew it was time to move on to something else. When you have, hold on, let me say this. He said that he lost that positivity when he was in law school, and that's when he knew it was time for him to move on into another career. So the next line reads, dream big and chase your dreams with extreme passion. You will be duplicated. So keep working hard. Keep working hard. Hold on.